morning, ladies and gentlemen. In front of you is Rose Allen Abraham. And now, let's tackle the concept of physical training, the method and principle of training. Why does physical training is important? Physical training is important because physical activity or exercise can improve your health and reduce the risk of developing several diseases like type 2 diabetes, cancer, and cardiovascular disease. Physical activity and exercise can have a major long-term of health benefit. Most importantly, regular activity can improve your quality of life. The concept of physical exercise is the performance of some activity in order to develop or maintain physical fitness and overall health. It is often directed towards also honing the athletic ability or skills. The concept of physical training principle. The concept of physical training principle is it is the key thing to cooperate and consider. In order to get the most of your training, you need to apply these key principles of training, which are overload, specificity, reversibility, and variation. In order to progress and improve our fitness, we have to put our bodies under additional stress. The first training principle is overload. Overload is to have the progress and improves our body fitness. We have to put our bodies under additional stress. Applying this training principle will cause long-term of adaptation, enabling our bodies to work more efficiently to cope with a higher level of performance the next time we train. Overloading can be achieved by the following acronym FITT or FIT, or known as frequency, intensity, time, and type. The second principle of physical exercise is specify. This principle relates the types of training that you do. It should be specific to you and to your choosing sports. You should train the energy system which you use predominantly, and the fitness and skills components must important to your sports. For example, agility, balance, muscular endurance. The third principle of physical exercise is reversibility. You can lose what you've gained if it's not maintained. If you stop training, then the improvement you have made will be reversed. So if you do not train for a period of time or reduce the amount of training, you may not be able to resume training to the same level as before. So it's important to build the body back up progress until you reach the level again. The fourth principle of physical exercise is variance. Try to vary your training to keep you interested and to give your body a different challenge. This can be by switching off the movement of circuit in your usual training or doing something else entirely. Many athletes will take a part of completely different sports in between. Their main reason to keep their fitness up whilst and still having a rest. And now, let's proceed to the concept of physical training and training method. A training method is a form of exercise you select to improve your fitness. The training method selected has a significant impact on your training outcomes. Training must be relevant to your goals. This refers to the training principle of specificity. There are 7 methods of training in sports, and they are continuous training, fartlek training, circuit training, interval training, flexibility training, and weight training. Continuous training. Continuous training is any form of training that maintains your heart rate at the desired level over the sustained period of time. An example of continuous training would be cycling for 30 minutes at an intensity that rises the heart rate. Other examples of exercise include running, swimming, or mix. The second training method of physical exercise is fartlek training. It is a method of training that uses period of exercise and rest. An example of fartlek training is running at a full sprint of 10 seconds, walking for 1 minute followed by the minimum intensity jog for 4 minutes. The third training method of physical exercise is circuit training. It is a type of training that involves exercise at a variety of different stations. An example of circuit training could be half-set station, where the athlete completes 30 seconds of activity at each station. The station could consist of burpees, press-up, set-ups, skipping, tripod dips, and squat. The fourth training method of physical exercise is weight training. It is a method of training using weight. This could be freestanding weight such as adjustable dumbbells, body weight exercise, resistance band, and weight machine. The fifth training method of physical exercise is interval training. It is an exercise with period of rest planning into a session. An example of interval training is completing 10 times 30 meters sprint with a 20-second rest in between. The sixth training method of physical exercise is plyometric training. It is a type of training that involves exercises with short bursts and high intensity. An example of plyometric exercise is a reverse, lung, and knee up. This method of training involves high-intensity exercise or stretch, aiming to improve muscular speed and muscular strength. The seventh training method of physical exercise is flexibility. It is completing the certain exercise that will improve a person's range of motion around a joint. An example of flexibility training exercise it can have right here. Flexibility training is often regarded as the additional to training session and not fully planned in for the year training program. Flexibility training should be incorporated to each training session as well as dedicated training sessions just to focusing in developing flexibility.